to like kind of learn, educate myself and all that fucking bullshit. And so I talked to an indigenous person for an hour, and now I actually hate them. Before, I was joking around. Then I listen to them. The guy's like, "We don't feel like we're part of Canada," and that joke is actually hate speech under the charter. I was like, under which charter? Canada's? I thought you weren't fucking Canadian, motherfucker. I'd say whatever the fuck I want. No, it's not. Look. My thing is like, okay, reconciliation. We gave the indigenous people what, $30 billion. That wasn't enough. You'd think that'd be enough. But and then they want. What's the next thing they want? They want. What do they want? The land. They want the land rights, which is crazy. That they're doing the land claim. The first land claim was in Richmond, BC. The most Chinese city in all of North America. It's not going over very well in Richmond. The indigenous and the Chinese. The Chinese, I thought this is not your land. Oh, you signed a treaty in 18. I came here in 1994. And I did not sniff a grew one pound. I never huff a grew. But yeah, it's just... And the chiefs, it's not even the indigenous people that are coming after me, it's the chiefs. The chiefs. What fucking year is this, man? The chief of Garden River Reservation would like to make a statement about Ben Banks' comedy routine. Me and Rainwater do not like the... This native guy that I talked to, he goes, okay, what's the joke? So I told him the joke, right? The joke is that Winnipeg zombie apocalypse, or like an indigenous zombie apocalypse, and too bad there isn't a school that we could send them to, right? That was the joke. And then I went on to say that, the beautiful architecture of those residential schools. And then I said, if you were to go to a residential school nowadays, it'd be, $40 grand a year. So, those were good schools, goddammit. See, it's fucking funny. But he was like, "Oh no, we don't find the humor. We don't find humor in that." I was like, what? I asked him, well, what is indigenous humor? And he was like, "Well, not my grandmother being raped in a schoolhouse." I'm like, "Well, that sounds pretty funny to me. I don't know." It's the beginning of a joke. It's not the punchline. It's a setup. Then what happened, right? And then after she was raped, she actually did learn something. All right, we won't post that one. Make some noise for the staff, by the way, because they're great. And they're good. They're the good ones. We're keeping them. But I do want another Heineken if you guys have a chance. There's already... Okay, they already brought it. Perfect. Good. I like that. Didn't even notice. It's so fucking good, dude. But it's getting to the point where you're not allowed, like, everything bad that's happening is because of liberals. Like, there's not one...
I don't get it.
Like there's no world where it's like,
It's not moving.
They can't even.
Like I'm like on a verge to be angry. It's not moving. It should be close to the B. I specifically designed this. Not designed. Is it because the carriers are being spawned in the back? Why would the game spawn a carrier in the corner of the map? Or is the carrier to the right side? Like, this is the stupidest design. Okay, now I know. I didn't know before. Okay, so what we are doing is testing this ship because I feel weird about this. The Battleship Commander is better. And I had a game, 8 kilometer Cosmo, this thing, and La Argentina showing AP, 10 full salvos, 7 citadels, and it was 1 citadel per each salvo, not 2 citadels, not 3, just 1. I couldn't get 2 citadels, and this is supposed to be accuracy. Well, it's not supposed to be accuracy for sure. So let's go. One citadel. No citadel. Like there should be citadel there. Maybe because it's overpen, right? Like obviously this citadel is like right here, this huge. So this should be 4 citadels. Let's try HE. Okay, 1 citadel of HE. Dispersion pretty huge. Let's try here. No citadel. 2 hits. 7 kilometers. Let's try here. No citadels. Okay, let's try AP. I don't know why the vertical dispersion is so huge on this ship. Let's go. No citadels, 7 overpans. So this was my game. I was like 3 citadels suddenly. I mean, I hit those 3 citadels because the armor is the only difference. Because it's the... how much it is? 16. And this one, the other one is 13. 16 and 13, and this should be different. This is what I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm seeing and how it's related to what I'm thinking. Ship. So this shouldn't be... this should be penetrating it anyway. Under what angle? Yeah. It doesn't have angles. It either penetrates or not. And this thing is having... oh! Amount of armor the shell needs to hit in order to arm the AP shell fuse. Ah. That's the first time I'm thinking about this. The idea concept. Okay. So arming means, obviously, logically, 2,550 damage. And if it doesn't arm, then shatters? Or goes overpen? And how much damage is overpen? Hold on, sweetie. Stay where you are. I just need to get my phone here. So, let's ask. Sorry. Alright. Okay, playing the game World of Warships Legends there are some terms and systematic designs. One is called fuse arming threshold. And I'm reading 25 millimeters, and it says amount of armor the shell needs to hit in order to arm the AP shell fuse. Whatever it means. And then we have maximum AP shell damage 2550. So what happens if I'm shooting at armor that has 19 millimeters? It should go into overpen, I'm guessing. Yet what does it imply to the damage? Because if it goes through and it doesn't explode arm, then it doesn't do the damage, I guess. But I'm still seeing some kind of damage numbers on the screen. So how is the damage numbers when the overpen comes? What is it related to? Let's see. Layered mechanics. Okay, this means the shell needs to pass through 55mm armor, 90mm but not arm. You're right about it. It goes through. Never arms, no explosion of it. It's called overpenetration. Why do you see the numbers? Even without the explosion, punches through clean hole through the ship and causes structural damage. Okay, I don't know what's the difference between. So structural damage is the HP of the ship itself, and explosion should be then added to it. So in World of Warship Legends, overpenetration deals 10% of the shell's maximum AP damage, so there would be 255 if it's overpenning. That's why I'm getting a lot, and I don't get the hit of the citadels, because instead of getting hits of the citadels, I'm just getting 225 times 6. Overpen 10% armor, don't arm, little armor. Penetration 33% armed. So I get 255 times 3 plus 2550. Okay. Citadel 100%. So whatever the number of the citadel damage is, hold on. 100% of citadel would be the full 2550, despite how much citadel is left there. Okay. So in this situation that I was playing right now, there was little angle, which means it raised the armor of the Cosmo ship to more than 25, and this is how I got finally those citadels. Okay, so with this knowledge, how does it translate to having this commander? Hold on, but I was shooting HE shells and they just didn't land, I guess. And how does it apply this? Alright, sorry. So let's see the high explosive shells. And the high explosive shells are having penetration 25 millimeters. So when I shoot at the ship that has 19 millimeters, same thing applies, right? Not quite. Differently it works. It can penetrate any armor up to 25 thick. If it penetrates, it deals full HE damage. So if it's 25 millimeter penetration potential shell going into 19, it penetrates successfully. You get the full penetration damage of the HE, which is 2100, and it could start a fire. It doesn't reduce, because there's no overpen mechanics. What if it's thicker than 25? Oh yeah, that's the everyday thinking. For example, Chapai versus Ultrapive. The HE shell fails to penetrate, so just like splash. It shatters, that's what the shatter is. It deals 0 direct damage, but you still have a chance to start a fire. So it's like throwing shit. Key difference versus AP. Okay. And how about angling? Same principle? If the angle of the armor is suddenly 26, it will shatter, it will not bounce. It's a small detail, tertial detail. Good question. Short answer. Angling does not cause ricochet or bounce, of course. It only makes the armor effectively thicker. The shell shatters. Well, that explains it. Okay. So that's why I was hitting only one citadel, because somehow I think because when I went to the water, one of in those situations, like 6 shells landed at the citadel, 5 went overpen and 1 went into the water, which I'll ask. So how is it that I was shooting a citadel, 6 shells, 5 shells went through overpen, caused 10% of the damage, and 1 shell caused the citadel? Could it be because it went through the citadel into the water? It's common. What you get? Exact impact, how much armor, where diffuse arms, how long? Pass through extended result, overpan, yes. Stayed inside the ship just long enough to fuse delay. About the theory going to the water. If the shell goes completely through the ship into the... Hold on, let's try it again. If the shells goes through the water and then into the ship through the citadel. Sorry. That's my Yes, that can absolutely happen. It can increase your chances of citadel. Why? What does water does? What does water? Okay. It loses speed. Trajectory can flatten. Less steep. Oh, because like it goes up a little bit. That's actually decreasing the angle. The shell is slower, spends more time inside a ship. Ah! So it would be the fuse time. Hold on. Fuse timer. So that would be the term called fuse timer. Time. I'm here. Time before an IP shell detonates. A longer timer means the shell is more likely to overpenetrate. So if I have 0.025 seconds, the water will reduce it to so much time, into so much time window that the shell will, even though it has power to go through the 19mm plating with 25mm arming threshold, it gets through, yet it's not detonating by the impact, if there is such a thing. It's detonating by the time spent after the impact. Now you've got it. And your wording is basically describing the mechanic correctly. Yoo-hoo! So how much would it be decreased? And so, can you calculate to me, like, if I have a 25mm armor-piercing shelf with such fuse arming threshold, going into 19mm armor citadel, and with the fuse timer 0.025 seconds, can you tell me what would be the fuse time of the shell that doesn't hit the water, and what would be the fuse time of the shell that comes in through the water? Let's see if it can calculate it. You're very close, but 1-3. The fuse time never changes. It's always 25. Okay, well, I know what I mean. I need better words. So usually 800 meters per second, 842, yes. Which means 20 meters inside the ship before exploding. Because it's 800 meters per second divided by 0.025. That's a lot. Many ships aren't even that thick. If it gets through the water, it's reduced to 500, for example. So that's now 500 times 0.025, which is 12 meters. Result, ships are that wide. All right. Awesome. We learned something today. Okay, so now that I have this knowledge, back to the original experience of mine. So I was shooting. I need to load the experience. So I'm shooting broadside, and I'm like, oh, using AP to the citadels, and I hit nothing. And I came with the solution. It's not a solution really, because I didn't grasp. I picked this commander because I have a better experience with it, and I thought it's the dispersion thing. I thought I need a better dispersion. Obviously, dispersion is already good, so I don't need to change it. Okay. Okay. Good.